This is the 2021 Ford Bronco. Now, for the past 2 years, there's been a lot of hype about the return of the Bronco to the Ford lineup. Well, it's here. It's out. It's ready to go. This is not the Ford Bronco Sport. No, this is the actual real thing. I know there was some confusion when the Sport came out if this was the Bronco Ford spoke about for some non-car enthusiasts. That wasn't. This is it. This is supposed to be the Jeep killer, the car Ford hopes to go head and head with Jeep sales, enjoying the fast off-road game that's fastly growing for a lot of off-road enthusiasts. This is Ford's answer to that. Today we're going to go around the Ford Bronco, see what it's like on the exterior, see what it's like on the interior. We're going to take it out on the road, see how it drives, and then we're going to see if it's a worthy competitor for the Jeep Wrangler. Thank you for tuning in. My name is MJ. Let's dive in. Ford Bronco is a true body-on-frame truck that should have existed a long time ago. See, for a while now, the Jeep Wrangler has reigned dominant in the off-road game here in North America because other options for off-road vehicles have been either way too overpriced or just untouchable for the average guy. See, the Bronco is aimed at that market, that Jeep Wrangler market, to hit that off-road game, to offer that mix of truck-like feel and car-like drive, which this one does perfectly well. We're going to get to that in a minute. From the side angle here, the look is just absolutely beefy. We're going to get to the front in a second, but I like how everything looks. Side arches over here on the front and the back allows for Ford to fit some really massive tires to this car. Now, this is the Badlands, which is the second in line in trim to the top of the line spec. I believe you have the base, some trim, the Outlander, the Badlands, and the top of the line one. This, however, is the 30-inch rims. You can fit 35-inch rims on this car. In fact, if you opt for the Sasquatch package, which is the off-roading heavy-duty package, you do get the 35-inch, which looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. This don't look bad, but I've seen them in 35s and I think they look a lot better in the 35s. Before we head to the front, let's comment on this color. It is called Area 51. Now, for the Ford Bronco, Ford did put out some very nice colors, and there's an orange color trim going with these cars. That color looks absolutely nice. Shout out to Fraser Fords here in Durham that hooked me up with the Ford Bronco today. If you're looking for a Bronco, Mustang, any Fords in this region, reach out to them. Aaron is the gentleman who helped me out. He's a really nice guy, and he's going to be able to help you. Now, in the front here, I must admit, is very clean. The design is really nice. The grills, this one has a matte look to it. There's some with the clear, shinier look. I really like the matte look. You have the ground clearance bar underneath in front that gives it a very sturdy off-road look, and the bars and the winches in front to allow you to tow things. And this steel bar in front, I mean, this car has been built ground up for off-roading directly to rival again the Jeep Wrangler. I know I'm sounding like a broken record saying this again and again. That's where this car is supposed to shine, and from the front here I believe it does quite well. It has very direct, very clear. It's not swoopy or timid looking anyway. It looks strong, it looks bold, and I think that's the intent for this car. That's the intent for the look, and looking at it head on, you can't confuse this with any other car. It's ready to go off-roading, and I like the look. On the back, however, you got the tire mounted right in the middle. The trunk does open rightwards that way, and you've got this nice LED light. Really, I like the design pattern in them. Got your brake light mounted above the tire and another steel beam in the back. The towing capacity on this car is about 3,500 pounds, which is good for a car this size, in case you were wondering. But the back also looks very rigid, very bold. You can tell very clearly what this car is and the image and the market is trying to captivate, and this is what it is. And now, before we jump inside, there's a little Easter egg I'd like to show you guys here. When you open up the fuel latch in this car, you can notice right on the side that there is the production names of all the Ford Broncos that have existed. A nice little point to hide it there. Good ups to Ford. I never have noticed that, but it's a nice little detail, nice little touch of the Ford Bronco lineup and its heritage. I really like that. The camera mounted back here faces upwards to give you a 360 view, sort of cut and paste photo diagram of the car. It's very clear. I'll start it up so you guys can hear the engine, and we'll go right inside. Alright, so driving the Ford Bronco. So I have watched a few reviews of the car, and a lot of people complain about the engine sound. I think that's the first thing I'd like to address. The engine sound, or the exhaust sound, whichever you'd like to call it. First things first, this car comes in two engines. This is the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine. Produces about 300 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque. The upped engine that you can get with this is the 2.7 liter V6 engine. And honestly, I don't think this is bad. This isn't bad at all. It sounds great for me, in my opinion. I mean, you need to consider people who are buying a 2.3 liter manual car aren't buying it because of the performance. No, they're more maybe concerned about fuel economy, which in this car Ford says will do about 20 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway. It's not bad for a car this size. The EcoBoost engine has been known to do quite well, so I believe these engines are going to deliver great performance with great fuel economy. The only thing is you have to realize you're not going to get that sound. You're not going to get oomph when you floor the car, which is okay. You can get the transmission configurations in the 6-speed manual transmission, which I have today, which shifts also smooth. I like the shifts. I like the throws. The changes between gears are not short, so that's a good thing. It's nice for putting around town just because you don't have to switch gears as often. But you can either get this or the 10-speed, which I have read does quite well. The drive so far is good. It's quite good. The steering is precise. Now the Jeep Wrangler is a body-on-frame off-road truck like this one. However, the immediate thing you notice with the Jeep Wrangler is it's a rough ride. No matter how you try to spec it, this one feels nice around town. It's a pretty nice preppy car, I must be honest. I'm just about to go on the highway here to see how that feels and how the sound is in the cabin. But so far it's great. Transmission shifts smooth, suspension's good for this car for its height. Oh, one thing I have to mention, getting into this car is not as easy as you would think. It is a high car, and this particular car isn't spec'd with, oh, I can start to hear the wind noise come in. But this particular car isn't spec'd with any bars or nothing to support you coming in. So you might have to leap a little bit higher. I'm saying this for anyone who's a little on the shorter side, just knowing that it is a substantially taller car. So you are gonna have to factor that in when getting the car if you're not getting them with supports getting in. Okay, so I am on the highway now and it's getting substantially louder, but not unbearably loud. I attribute a lot of this to the soft top. I'm sure it's not doing as good as a job of sound deadening as the hard top would, but you have the opportunity to be able to take this off when you need to and just cruise and enjoy the ride with this car. Alright, so let's talk about the interior of the car. The materials are good. So what Ford has done is, because this is an off-road vehicle, they've made it so that you can take this off-road and completely wash off the vehicle when you're done off-roading, which is a great concept. So you've got rubber floor mats that you can take off the upper cover and hose down. You've got plastic bits on the doors which you can easily clean off, and you've got this material which is not plastic. It feels a bit rubbery on the doors. The one on the dash is definitely plastic, but beside the doors, which have some rubbery material, and the chairs which have some rubbery material as well, everything else is either plastic or mainly rubber, which makes it easy to clean if you do go off-road. And that's the whole idea of this car, because the doors do come off and this soft top does come off as well. It's easy to take off, and with the doors, Ford says you do get a package to be able to store the doors when you take the car off-roading. The soft top, it's as easy as undoing the 2 clips in front, the 2 clips in the middle, and the 2 clips in the back, and it all comes off. It's easy, straight to the point. You don't have to do any unnecessary unscrewing and all of that nonsense. Now, the center console stack here with your tachometer and speedometer. This is Ford's new center control stack. So you've only got the digital gauge that tells you how fast you're going, but besides that, every other information in this car is on a screen. And I must say, it's very clean, very easy to read. You've got your kilometers, your RPMs on the right. your speed, your tire pressure gauge, and it's configurable. And toggle the up and down switch on the steering wheel here to see different modes, different settings, depending on what I want to see, fuel economy, and things like that. It's pretty refreshing, pretty clean, pretty nice to see this from Ford. Now outside that, you can see the camera shaking a bit. We're going through a little bit of a rough road here, but outside that, the front layout is really nice, very mature. You've got this yellow accents all around to tie in with the Badlands trim level this car has. It's on the AC console, it's on the grab handles when you're getting in with the Bronco logo across. You've even got the yellow stitching all around it on the seats and on the door bins all over the car. It's really nice. Speaking of off-road capabilities, you have an array of configurations in the car. You've got the buttons up here to help control a lot of your fitment, alignment, and your axles. You've got your auxiliary buttons up here as well. And you've got a mount up top on the dash here for either mounting GoPros or anything of the sorts. It's a very well-equipped vehicle. Ford hasn't covered up the engine bay with any sort of plastic. Everything just looks very exposed, very out there. And I might be wrong. This might be just because this is a test drive car and maybe not a selling car. I will confirm that when I take this car back. But you've got Ford Bronco etched all around the car in places that you have to know, or you have to be reminded of what this car is. Ford Bronco on the edge there, Ford Bronco on the door bins, Ford Bronco everywhere. So it's quite hard for you to forget what car you're in. The grab handles when you're entering the car are pretty sturdy. There's one on the left here where the driver sits and one on the right. The grab handle in the middle is not so sturdy. I don't know, maybe because this is a showroom car, but not so sturdy as well. And the grab handles on the front of the car, which I believe are supposed to be just when you go off-roading, it's not as sturdy as you think, but it works. It all makes the car look really nice. It all makes the overall look of the interior very good. And as I'm driving around the car now, people are staring. People in trucks are looking at the car, giving me the thumbs up. So it does have a very good reaction when you go around, mainly because it's new. It's not something people are used to seeing everywhere. Soon they will. And secondly, because it looks really nice. The car looks very, very nice. Approaching from an angle, it looks very good. And that's something Ford has done very well in the design. Now, some of the drawbacks you might have noticed. On the highway, it is not the most quiet of rides, especially with this soft top. You're not going to get the insulation you get in luxury cars, so count that out. In fact, it's not going to be extremely quiet, but the ride quality, I can say it's way better than the Jeep Wranglers. It feels nice. I can daily drive this. I can see myself taking this on long trips and driving it on a daily basis and not feeling badly beaten like in the Jeep Wrangler. It is not unbearable. It more has the car feel over the truck body on frame feel, which I think Ford was going for, and it turned out really well. When you take some turns, you do feel it wallow a bit side to side, but it balances out pretty good, especially taking a turn, 60, 70 kilometers per hour. It does pretty good, pretty well. Overall, in conclusion, do I think this car will rival the Jeep Wrangler? The Jeep Wrangler has been around for a very long time. It has a dedicated following base. Will that get written off overnight? No, I don't think so. I don't think this car is just going to show up in 2021 and ultimately just replace half of the Jeep Wrangler followers. I don't think that's going to happen. If this car does climb up to the status the Jeep Wrangler is, it is going to take a short little while if it does happen. But for now, I think this car is best suited for those guys who never really wanted a pickup truck, and the Ford Escape has always been too little, and they don't really like the lush look of the Ford Edge, things like that. This car sits right in that middle to compensate for all of that, and for that, I think this car will shine very, very well. The color is an A1 for me. The driving dynamics is really good for me. The space in the interior is really good. Backseat room, 100% very good. I would recommend this for a family. I'm 6'1", I fit quite good back there. It will fit through comfortably on a long trip. Trunk space is quite adequate. The car is pretty decent. The insulation is good enough for what it is. and I will 100% recommend this car. With that, I want to say thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, leave me a comment and let me know what some of your thoughts are on the new Ford Bronco. If you like this color, if you would get it in a hard top or a soft top, if you get it in a 2-door or a 4-door, because all of the Bronco trims come in either a 2-door or a 4-door. This car is highly configurable, and let me know what you take.